Whoa. Chill out, cows.
Oh, that's an alarm.
He tried to jump on that other little baby cow. All right, day 3. First things first. Let's see if we can get this trailer hitch lock put on the trailer. Follow me. Put it on this thing. On. Didn't fit from the front, like straight on, but from the side, it works pretty well. And it can't slide around. We've accomplished one thing already. Now let's get away from all these slobbering cows and go inside. So we got a bag of tools. And I'm going to put these steps down for you. Or you just want to step it?
No, I'll just step it.
Yeah, so our goal for today is to start pulling some of this stuff either off the walls or off the ceilings, like in terms of shelving or just shelving. So we're going to start here. This looks like a good place to start. So this guy, I can see it's held on by Phillips head screws. So we're just going to loosen those and then just keep loosening stuff until we can pull stuff away from the wall. That's the plan. Okay, so Madison and I started removing the screws out of this guy. They're just all along underneath the bottom here, and then some of them in here, but Madison found a screw that was holding it in by this little bracket right here. So we assume that there's probably one holding it in under this wood flooring on this side as well. So okay, so far, the only thing that we've been able to successfully remove has been this little guy. He was sitting here before, but we loosened all the screws and it came off pretty easily. Now we're working on getting this entire section taken care of, but primarily right now is just this side wall, this panel right here. So there were a couple screws. It looked like they just placed their own screw right here. We removed that one, and then we removed some along the rib on the inside. And then Madison went ahead and removed those screws here as well that she took out. And so now it feels like it wants to come out. Like, this is our first panel we are removing from one of these C-channel things. And I think that if we can get this board to slide out from this little channel right here, maybe we'll have a better chance of figuring out the best way to remove it and go from there. But I mean, we could easily destroy this thing and get it out, but more or less want to try to keep things as nice as possible as we remove them, rather than just destroying and making everything a huge mess. Okay, okay, so we have, like I said, we have pretty much all the bolts, or not the bolts, but the screws and rivets out that we can see, but it's something still holding it in, and if I try to push it away from the wall here, it looks like it might be these rivets underneath here. That are going all the way through. So all the other parts of the wall feel pretty loose, and then you get here and it's really firm. So I'm going to start by removing those 3 rivets and see what happens. Okay, so I was trying to use that. We got this fancy little rivet remover thing, and the way it works is okay. So the way it works is this thing is about the size of a rivet head, and then when this is connected to the drill. When you push in on the wall, the drill bit comes through and drills out the rivet. Like it's supposed to keep you centered over the rivet, but it's kind of hard to use, and so especially whenever I was trying to use it underneath that shelf that was right here, this shelf that was sitting right here. I was trying to get to these rivets, and it was just a weird angle. So instead, what I did was chisel and just smashed them off, and so it worked just as well, if not better and faster than this tool did. So once we got that off, we saw exhibit A. One more screw. So now we're going to try to remove that screw and see how much of a difference it makes in terms of getting this panel to cooperate. Oh yeah, big difference. So much.
Wow! Yay!
I guess we were just missing one screw, and once we got that screw off, that made it a world easier. So this is a fridge right here, and then there's a lot of black stuff behind it. Hopefully not mold, but if it is, we can just bleach it. And now we can see this entire C channel thing, which is nice. So cool, it worked.
So he's working on the oven, getting it out.
So we got the box. So the front of the oven's here, and then the inside of the oven, like where the stuff actually goes into, fills this space here. And so we got the outer box covering off, but we can't get it off.
Lift it up a little bit, and then, yeah. Push it in, lift it up, and then I already learned the quirks.
There we go. So we gotta get this off somehow. And it's held in by rivets. Come on. Okay, so I think this will be the best option.
Okay. Alright, so this is coming down.
It's on side. Got a thumb in here. I can just show what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So because it'd be really hard to drill these rivets out, what I'm doing is just using the chisel like I mentioned before. This is exactly what I did. So I just kind of get it flush with the rivets I'm trying to get out, and then I just hammer them off, and that's what we'll do to get these off. And then we'll drill out these rivets along the back, because we can get the drill in there pretty easily. But as far as these, it'd just be impossible to get a drill up in there, so we're just gonna chisel them off, and then we'll drill out the other ones.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it worked out really well, actually. Like I mentioned, we went ahead and just chiseled off those rivets from the underside, and then the ones along the back we just drilled out with the drill, and Madison supported it while I pulled them out, and then yeah. And then it's here. So now we can get this box off.
Yep.
Hopefully, ideally. Let's put something holding it on this side.
Really?
Feels like it, at least.
Maybe it's just tight fit.
Maybe not. No, there's something over there. I don't know what.
Don't help. That is a nice little thing. Oh man. Yay! Man, why does the back of that oven look so clean? It's so beautiful.
Cover it up for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this back panel off, like you just saw, but then it's still being held in from the front with these larger bolts here. So Madison is currently taking them out. You getting it?
Hard.
It's hard?
Yeah.
You can do it.
It's like for a tall person.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
hard with my arms
So-
above my head.
Okay. So Madison was drilling out this bolt here, which you could see kind of coming out from that other side.
Yeah.
So I guess we figure if we can get this one out, this one, this thing here had this little metal piece covering it. So we drilled out this one, this little cover came off. Like this. Oh, and also Madison found a little recipe stuck
Maybe I'll
between
frame it.
the fridge and that panel that was right here before. So yeah, maybe I'll frame it. So yeah, so we're gonna drill out these, and then I think there's also some along the bottom down here. I just saw them on the underside back here, but
Cherry pecan bread.
nice.
Yum.
So we're gonna drill these out, and then we'll see if we can get this oven out. Okay, so it's out. It took a little bit more than we had anticipated to get that out, but we got it out together. Let's see, so the last thing I think we talked about was we took off that panel on the top. We took out the 2 screws that were going through here, the 2 bolts that were going through the top, and then we had to pull off the knobs on the bottom and then remove that little cover plate, and then behind there were another 2 bolts identical to the 2 up top down here below. And so we removed those as well. And then obviously it had the gas line going to it and the electricity, so we disconnected that. And then after that, yeah, we just slid it out and set it on the floor. It's a really, really cool oven. Like it says it's custom for the Airstream, so it'd be nice to maybe clean it up a little bit and then see if someone wants it, if someone can use it. Maybe one of you guys could use it in your Airstream. But yeah, I mean that was pretty successful little event in the Airstream. Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there. As far as progress, like I mentioned, first thing we did, we got that guy off, so it's freestanding right now. We can do what we want with that. And then we got this panel off here. We loosened up this C channel thing a little bit. I know it's not actually a C channel, but it's like a C channel. And then we got the oven out. That took a little while. That took the most amount of time probably of everything. Oh, actually, before we got the oven out, we took off the little overhead storage, like suitcase storage looking thing. That was right here. And then we took off the oven, which is now sitting over there. And then we were working on this guy, and I think like we could finish it, but it'd probably just be better to just go ahead and call it quits for the day, clean up while we still have some daylight, and then head out. And then next time we'll probably start here and remove this entire overhead, and then maybe this overhead, and get all this stuff like the refrigerator and everything loosened up. That way we can get it out eventually. So we're kind of just working our way from the front towards the back of the Airstream. So. Oh, and we also measured the length of it, like the interior length, because I think it's a 31-foot trailer, but that's taking into consideration everything in terms of from the very front of the hitch to the very back of the bumper. And then, but interior space, we have 25 feet from like where the bathroom currently is to this front window here. 25 feet that way, and then about 7.5 feet wide, which is a little bit smaller than we had thought. We were under the impression that it was 29 or 30 inside and like 8 feet wide, so it's a little bit smaller than we initially thought, but it's better to know that now. That way we can adjust our drawings and everything now rather than later. And then once we get everything out of here and we get the subfloor pulled up, we can put down new subfloor, and then that's when we can start taping stuff off and really seeing how much space we have to work with. But for now, I think we did a decent amount of progress, and our respirator masks and our goggles are in. They came in literally like 10 minutes after we left the house, so we should have those by next time. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yep.
All right. Until next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.